What is going on, guys? Hope you're having an amazing day, the best day ever. This is the Fit Foodie Podcast. Welcome to another episode. I'm your host, Luis Medrano. This is the place for plant-based foodies that want to lose weight, feel great, and elevate their lives. Guys, today's episode is all about elevation, right? How to get to the next level, how to get to where you want to get. And the title of today's episode is Don't Quit. You are 3 feet from gold. I want to share a story if you haven't heard before, this story about being 3 feet from gold and how it relates to your journey and your progress wherever you are in your fitness journey or your weight loss journey or any other goal that you have in your life. Guys, first, I want to address this finger situation. Quick story. So quick update, crazy start to the week. So on Monday morning, I actually woke up and I had to take a visit to the doctors because the night before, so this week's meal plan, just a quick backstory here. This week's meal plan for dinner is an amazing plate of sweet potato fries and barbecue curls burger with a side of broccoli. Ah, just amazing. Every night I look forward to dinner, right? But anyways, that night I was prepping the sweet potato fries, and if you guys have ever tried cutting sweet potato fries, they are pretty hard. So I was kind of rushing it. That was my mistake. And the knife slipped and cut my finger and it was bleeding. And it's nothing that I haven't experienced before. I've cut my finger before, but this was quite a lot of blood that came out. And I ended up just putting pressure on it and putting a band-aid on it and just kind of just went on with my thing, right? My wife helped me out. We had dinner. It was a great night. The next morning, woke up and took off the band-aid and it continued to bleed. And I was like, okay, this is not okay. Something's going on here. We probably should go to the doctor and get this checked out, right? So her and I both ended up calling off of work that day, and she took me to the doctors. They cleaned it up, gave me a shot, and patched it up. I ended up not able to do stitches because it wasn't a like clean cut, deep cut. It was like a slice of my finger. I'm not going to show you, but um, and they ended up cleaning it up and putting skin glue on it. So the skin glue stopped the bleeding and it's doing its thing now. And I just got to wait for the skin glue to come off on its own and the finger to heal. And it's in the healing process now. So little update, little crazy start to the week. So I didn't go to work on Monday, and then yesterday was election day, so school was closed, and just started today my work week, right? My official work week. So crazy start to the week, but my finger's healing now. It's doing a lot better now. So let's jump right into today's episode, guys. Don't quit. You're 3 feet from gold. What does that mean, and how does it apply to you and your weight loss journey, your fitness journey, or any goal that you have in your life, guys? So first of all, if you don't know this story, let me just kind of share this 3 feet from gold story from you for you. So there's a story of a miner searching for gold, and he had his tools prepared, everything. He went to this area where it was known that there was gold there, and he mined and mined for months and months and dug and dug and dug. And finally, he just said, you know what? I'm done. I am leaving. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm frustrated. I've been spending months of my time here and have not found an ounce of gold. And so he ended up leaving. He left his post, and when he just went off to do his own thing, and he basically quit. He said, I don't see anything. I've been digging for months and I haven't found a thing. And so he ended up leaving, and the person that took over his spot, he ended up, buying all the tools from him. I might not be saying the story exactly, but he took over, got all his tools, and he continued digging in that same spot where that person stopped, right? And 3 feet later, 3 feet from when that previous person quit, this person found a massive amount of gold and eventually lived out his wildest dreams, right? Became super wealthy, super rich, and because he found all this gold where the previous person was 3 feet away, right? And the lesson there, guys, is very clear. Do not give up. Do not give up on your goals and your dreams because of the time it takes to get there, and because of the struggles that you are seeing, because there's going to be struggles. Any goal that's worthy, that's worthwhile to reach is worth fighting for and worth struggling for. And, there are going to be struggles. There will be struggles, and that's a normal part of the process. Anything worth doing is worth, struggling for. So don't give up. You're 3 feet from gold. If you've been working hard on a specific goal, on a weight loss goal, and you've been really trying to, let's connect this to fitness, guys. If you've been on a weight loss goal, or you've been yo-yoing where you've lost weight before and it just hasn't been there for you, you haven't reached it, it hasn't hit for you, don't give up, because you don't want to be like this miner who gave up 3 feet from finding a ton of gold and realizing his dreams, right, of being this super rich person because he found this a ton of gold, right? You don't want to be like that person. you want to stick to it, right? You never know. You're right there, right? And so some of the things to understand is you don't want to quit because when things get hard, because you have to then look at yourself and ask, is it really something that you really wanted to do? If you quit at the first sign of adversity, is that really something you wanted? If you've probably have done that before, because I know I have. When things got hard and I was on a, specific fitness plan before and things got difficult, I gave excuses. I never went back to it, or I kind of half-assed it, and I did not see results. And there was no surprise why. And ultimately, I don't call myself a quitter because I stayed with it and I went back at it and I tried and I yo-yoed back and forth. And it was all years of experience of making mistakes and learning from them. But, and I'm grateful for all that learning. But this message for you and your fitness journey and your weight loss journey is don't give up. You're right there. You might be 3 feet from gold. You might be right around the corner from reaching your goal, guys. And some of the key things to know in order to let this sink in and kind of send the message, home for you is number one, progress takes time, especially fitness progress. Guys, you're not going to gain weight and put on pounds by eating one slice of cake and a bag of chips, in one day. It takes time. The body that you have that you're not happy with or overweight and you're seeing the overweight body in the mirror did not happen in a short amount of time. It took a long time, sometimes even years. So do not expect weight loss and these goals that you have for yourself to happen in a matter of a week or a few weeks. It takes time. Progress takes time. But as long as you are consistent most of the time, you will see progress. You will see results. You will see progress. And most people quit because of the time it takes. Guys, the time's going to pass anyways. You might as well do the work. You might as well put in the work and do the things that are required to get to the goal that you want to reach. Let's just use 10 pounds as an easy example. Let's just use that as an easy example. If you are looking to shed those 10 pounds and you might be getting stuck and frustrated, but don't feel like you can't get there, you just stick with it. Consistency most of the time is going to do the trick, and progress takes time. Don't feel like you're going to do it in 2 or 3 weeks or even a month. It takes time and you got to be able to stick with it, right? And that's the key. That's the absolute key is it takes time. You need to understand that as long as you're putting in one step at a time, you are going to be making progress. You see a big, I told my kids actually today, that's funny. I told my kids a story of the Great Wall of China and how it started with one brick, or whatever material they use. I just said brick, but this massive structure, which can be seen from outer space, began with one brick. And now you have this massive Great Wall of China, which is seen from outer space, right? And so the same goes for your progress in your weight loss and your fitness journey, guys. Take it one brick at a time. Lay one brick down, one action down on that day, and then the next day, the next thing, and then just keep doing that day in and day out as best as you can. And before you know it, you'll have built a temple that you're happy to see in the mirror and happy to see in your swimsuit or your bikini or whatever the case may be for you. Progress takes time. Understand that, and it'll make the journey much easier for you, right? Second thing to understand, guys, the second key is a lot of people quit 3 feet from gold because number one, we talked about progress taking time, but also number two, it's they see the progress being too slow. Maybe they had an idea of like, I want to make sure that I'm at my I have a wedding in a few weeks, or I have a vacation coming up, or I have this specific time frame that I've set for myself, and I've been going at it for a few weeks, and then I'm not seeing any differences in my body. I'm not seeing the scale go down. I'm not seeing any progress, and so they just stop. Oh, you know what? I tried, it didn't work out. It wasn't worth it. Maybe next time, or I'll try something different. And people stop because of number one, the progress is slow, and they're not seeing, or the progress takes time. And number two, they're not seeing the progress fast enough. But it's not about, it's not a diet, a crash diet. It's not something that you do over a period of, a couple of weeks. It's when you really want to be successful and you want results that last, you got to see it as a lifestyle. See it as a lifestyle, as a something that you want to do for life. Don't you want to live in a healthy, strong, vibrant body? Have the energy every day to do your work, to play with your kids, to excel at your job or whatever your endeavors are? Don't you want to do that? Right? And it is a lifestyle. it's about living that way every day and understanding that it is a lifestyle. And so it's not about slow and fast progress. It's about doing the things every day. Before you know it, you'll have reached that six pack or those toned muscles or that 10-pound weight loss or looking good in that bikini or swimsuit or fitting in that outfit for the event you have coming up, whatever it may be for you, right? Just understand that, to make it a lifestyle, then when you understand that, you will not care about progress being slow or fast. And the third reason why people tend to quit 3 feet from goal, 3 feet from achieving their goal, is because it's overwhelming. And there's a lot of information. And especially right now with the vegan diet, there's different types of vegan diets, right? There's different people online, influencers, doctors, people who are, vegan teachers and educators who share all kinds of information, and things become overwhelming. Like, what exactly am I supposed to do? I've tried that version. I've tried this version. I'm speaking from experience because I've tried, raw vegan diet. I loved it. I've tried raw till four. I love that. I've tried whole foods only. I've tried vegan with no oil, no salt, no processed anything. I've tried this. I've tried different styles, different recipes and cook. And there's so many different ways and conflicting information, that it does get overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, but ultimately it comes down to sticking to the fundamentals of fitness and nutrition. And these are the fundamentals no matter what diet you're on, vegan or not. The fundamentals of that actually stick to that actually see that you'll actually see progress with, right? And fitness and nutrition have to be king and queen of that kingdom, right? Of the fundamentals. Fitness and nutrition, working out, resistance training, and dialing in your nutrition no matter what diet you're on. In this case, in this podcast, it's all about plant-based foodies. So those that are eating plant-based in a vegan diet, really dialing in your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fats, your micronutrients on a vegan diet to feel good and to be able to reach the body that you want, right? So people stop because they're overwhelmed, and if they continue to consume information and not take action, then they're not gonna learn anything, and they're gonna be like that person who stopped 3 feet from gold and did not reach their goal, right? You don't want to be that person. So guys, as always, I like to give you some actionable items on this podcast, things that you could take action on that you can see progress with and able to see success in your journey, in your fitness journey. Now, guys, this podcast is about fitness and being a vegan and a plant-based foodie and seeing fitness success and weight loss success. But the tips that I share with you on many of these episodes have to do with mindset that you can apply in any area of your life: health, wealth, relationships, your job, your career, many areas of your life, right? So these action steps do apply to that too, most of the time, right? But often, the focus is on fitness and weight loss. So, action step number one, the first thing you could do, guys, is number one is track progress, track the little things, track the basics that make the biggest difference, guys. And I always preach the five, right? Fitness, training, nutrition, sleep, mindset, and steps. If you just focus on those five things, you will be successful in your weight loss goal and your fitness journey, guys. So, action step number one is track. You don't have to track every little thing. If you want to just pick one, start with one. Track one thing every day and you'll see difference. Number two, second action step is set little goals that are not scale related. So when you get on the scale, often we get anxiety over that number, right? We want to see a number that's lower than what it was yesterday or last week. Set goals that have nothing to do with the scale. Don't get me wrong. I think weighing yourself is important because it's a way to track, but not being obsessed over it and you just the scale is going to go up and down. I weigh myself every morning right after I use the bathroom. I get on the scale and I weigh myself. I log it in and my weight goes up and down. But over the long run, depending on my goal, you will see the steady weight loss or steady maintenance or steady weight gain if I'm looking to put on muscle, right? So set goals that are non-scale related. Things like drinking your water every day. That has nothing to do with the scale. Maybe your goal is to drink 2 liters of water every day, right? Then make that your goal that you track. That has nothing to do with getting on the scale. Drink 3 liters of water every day. Did you do it? Cool. Put a check. Or maybe it has to do with going for a 10-minute walk every morning. Did you do that? Cool. Has nothing to do with the scale, but you're making progress on something that you know is going to benefit you and make you feel good. And the third thing, this one is huge for me. This one is huge, and I think it makes a big difference. Is accountability. We often, and I know this was the case for me, cannot be accountable to ourselves. We cannot be held accountable to our own actions. I mean, by tracking and doing things that I share with you in this podcast, you can be accountable, hold yourself accountable. But oftentimes it takes, being a teacher for over 10 years now and having students and being a coach, and it's important to have that person to kind of guide you and watch over you and kind of keep you accountable. For my students, I get on their case if they're not, doing their work or off task. For my clients, hey, we'll have a chat if, you know, workouts are not being met or nutrition is not being dialed in. We'll have a chat about that and I'll coach them in the right way that to make sure they're making progress. But having someone to keep you accountable, whether that's a significant other, ideally someone else who's also on a similar journey than you. That's why joining community groups, Facebook groups, um, or even the best, in my opinion, is hiring a mentor who has done the things that you want to do. In my opinion, is the top way to stay accountable. Someone to help you out on your journey that will help you stay accountable, that you can talk to, that you can share your frustrations, your wins, your struggles, your questions with. Someone that will help you out. And a coach is a great way to go, or a mentor, but you don't have to do that. It could be a friend, a spouse, someone else who's also on that journey, a fitness group at your gym, someone like that to help keep you accountable and help keep each other accountable makes a big difference too. So those are the things you could do right now that will make a big difference, that will allow you to keep the momentum going and not be like that miner who quit when he was 3 feet from gold. Someone else came in, took over, dug for 3 feet, and found all the gold he could want, right? You don't want to be that person who quits 3 feet from gold, guys. So the message is don't quit. You are 3 feet from gold, guys. So let's recap, guys. 3 action steps that you can do to keep you going when you feel like you haven't made progress, when you feel like quitting. Number one is track the things that you know make the biggest difference. And if you can't track the 5 things that I preach, training, nutrition, mindset, sleep, and steps, pick one. Pick one. What is one thing you want to track to make sure you're making progress on that every day, right? And action step number two, set non-scale goals. Goals that have nothing to do with the scale. Not that there's anything wrong with the scale, but there's other things that we can track, like drinking your water, going for a 10-minute walk, having a conversation with the loved one about something that you guys are into, something that's is good for your well-being. Anything that's non-scale related, do set some goals for that, right? And then number three, have someone hold you accountable, whether that's a group, a coach, a mentor, a spouse, someone else who's on a similar journey than you, a weight loss journey or fitness journey, who's similar to you and who you can hold, you could be kind of become accountability partners, right? This, in my opinion, is one of the biggest, at least for me, difference maker. I know that when I hired a fitness coach, it made the biggest difference in my fitness journey. And now being a coach myself, I see how clients that I work with uh, get to ask those questions, get to celebrate their wins and their successes, and have someone hold them accountable to help them along the way, guys. So, guys, that's it. Hope you found this episode helpful. Remember, don't quit. You're 3 feet from gold, whether that's in your fitness or any area of your life. Guys, stick with it, stay with it, be consistent as best as you can, and you will see results. Peace and love, guys. I'm your host, Luis Medrano. This is the Fit Foodie Podcast, the place for plant-based foodies that want to lose weight, feel great, and elevate their lives, guys. Much love. I wish you a beautiful rest of the day whenever you're listening to this or watching this episode. Have a great one. Peace and love, and we'll talk soon.